10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Well then, how are we doing, everybody? Sam here, United People's TV. It is Friday, the 5th of August, and the Premier League 2022-23 season kicks off tonight. Crystal Palace beating Arsenal 4-1 at Selhurst Park. Fingers crossed. But look, I ran through all of my predictions yesterday in a video. I ran through my predictions for the whole Premier League earlier this week. We've had a very long pre-season. Of course, the pre-season is long. We're here to talk about everything. It's the big season preview today. Yes, we're going to be speaking about Antony Martial. Yes, we're going to be speaking about the fact, as you can see down there, that Erik Ten Hag is starting this Premier League season without a fit, recognised striker. How we could do with that man right there, or that man right there, or both. I'd take both. But United are going into this season without a recognised striker. It's like we're not allowed good things as a Manchester United fan. It's like that pre-season, there were so many reasons to be positive. Like when we were watching this, we were like, what's going on here? We were watching Rashford, Sancho and Martial, and we were like, okie dokie. I like the look of that. And then, of course, we now get the news here that Antony Martial is going to be missing Manchester United's game against Brighton with an injury that he picked up against Atletico Madrid. So let's speak about all of that this morning, okay? Ian, thank you very much down there for sharing the code to the Fantasy Premier League. That's kicking off today. Make sure you get in there. There's going to be prizes across the course of the season. But yeah, we're here. We're going to speak about Brighton. We're going to speak about Martial. We're going to speak about Ronaldo. We're going to speak about who we think should start up front there. And my predicted 11 video is going to be going out later today around about lunchtime. And then we've, of course, got Erik Ten Hag's first press conference at 1:30. I'll cover that. I won't do it live, but I'll cover all the main talking points from Erik Ten Hag in a video as soon as possible after that press conference. I'll do that. We're going to be speaking about Benjamin Sesko this morning. We're going to be speaking about Gary Neville slamming United's transfer activity, or let's be honest, the lack of, by comparison of our rivals. We're going to speak about Sesko, about Hakim Ziyech. There's so many talking points. There really are. Good morning to everyone down in the comments. Who we got down here? Craig Plunkett, I can see you there. Bruce Malps, good morning to you. Ian, Tio, we've got Dave Maguire. How you doing, buddy? Neil Driscoll, Dylan, David, Pap, Rogerio. And on Facebook, we've got Jacqueline Jr. Good morning to both of you. And Danny O'Danford. That's a pretty cool name. But look, this is such a sucker punch for the start of the season, isn't it? I mean, let's be completely honest. I think we all felt anyway that signing an attacker was an absolute priority, regardless of what was going on with Cristiano Ronaldo, regardless of whether Antony Martial is going to get injured. And I think this right here, this sums up exactly why all of us United fans are looking at this form period, this purple patch from, maybe not purple patch, just this better form from Martial, and we're going, I've been here before. I think I know what happens here. So, lo and behold, he's got injured. He's missing the game. Let's read through what James Duckers had to say on this situation. Man United's preparations for their opening Premier League game have suffered another blow, with Antony Martial is injured, leaving Erik Ten Hag with a dilemma over Ronaldo. Martial set to miss it because of that injury, already short of options up front after the club's failure to reinforce the attack so far this summer. Ten Hag must now decide whether to rush back Ronaldo or draft in Anthony Elanga into his starting 11. What I'm going to do in a second is I'm going to pull up the 3 predicted 11s from the main 3 athletic writers, Kyle Anker, Laurie Whitwell, and Adam Crafton. We'll have a little conversation about what you think would be best without Antony Martial. And spoiler alert, I don't think it includes Anthony Elanga. I mean, that's my own personal opinion. But look, John, yeah, he is unlucky, right? The idea that the idea that Martial's been putting in the shit, he's been putting in the hard yards, he's been putting in the work, and then that injury comes. Yeah, it's unlucky, but at the same time, all of us are going to be like, are we really that surprised? This isn't coming like a huge bombshell. Like, wow, Martial's injured. I never would have seen that coming. I just didn't think it would happen before the first game of the season. That's what surprised me. Fred, how you doing, buddy? Let me know where you're watching from. Today, of course, is map day. It's Friday. I'll bring the map up later in the show. Don't you worry about that. But let's just have a nice conversation in the comments and see what you're all saying down here. Dave, you're saying, what about Rashford up front with Garnacho on the left? Surely that is an option. Well, let's run through these 3 potential alternatives. This first one, I believe, is from Laurie Whitwell. Well, it says it right there. It's definitely from Laurie Whitwell. Lots of you saying Rashford up front. What else are you saying down here? I'm not sure what else you're saying. But this is what Laurie Whitwell's suggesting. Rashford on the left, Elanga through the middle, and Sancho on the right-hand side, with Fernandes operating in number 10, Fred and McTominay. I'm not sure I agree with that one. Antony Elanga in this preseason, he's not done enough, and certainly not done enough to start in the number 9 position. I think that's a very curious one. But that's one of them. Let's run through the second one. I believe this one's Carl Ankers. He's saying, this is quite a curious one. He's putting Rashford through the middle with Sancho on the right and Christian Eriksen up there on the left wing, with Bruno Fernandes as the number 10, with Fred and McTominay. David, you're down there asking, how severe is Martial's injury? Is he only out for a week? We're not hearing anything about the injury being too serious. And if it was from that Atletico Madrid game, then he's already had 1 week to recover. So maybe he'll only be missing for a week, but he's missing. And the good work that we saw in preseason, that's not going to lead to a start in the first game. 51 tried saying, no, Elanga will not do well in the number 9 role. Give that to Rashford. Forced to play Rashford and Elanga to cover the right-hand side. Let me see what else you're saying down here about this one. Elanga and Diallo, I don't think they're not shit, but I don't think either of them are good enough to be starting for Manchester United. Mr. Big Time, you want to see Garnacho on the left. That's Carl Anker's one. Ilechi, let me know where you're watching from, fella. Lovely to have you on board in the family. And this is the third one here. This one's from Adam Crafton, which I'll be honest, is pretty damn close to what my predicted 11 is for the game. I won't say what my predicted 11 is. I'll keep that for the video that's coming out in about 2 hours' time. But Adam Crafton here saying Rashford on the left-hand side with Bruno Fernandes operating as a bit of a false 9 and Sancho on the right, with the midfield 3 of Fred, McTominay and Eriksen. Now, you'll remember that we used Bruno Fernandes in the false 9 last season a couple of times. It didn't particularly work out. I think you hopefully you did anyway. I reckon some of you watched my video I did yesterday where I ran through my full season predictions. And I've backed Bruno Fernandes to be Man United's player of the season. I think Bruno Fernandes is going to really come good this year. I don't know whether he's going to come good in a sort of false 9 role. I don't think he will. But in terms of covering this gap that we're going to have now until either Martial's fit or Cristiano Ronaldo's fit, then we need someone there. Now, lots and lots of you I can see down here. Lots of you are shouting Garnacho's name, right? Garnacho, that's the only comment I can see now. But there really are lots of you mentioning him. Let's be completely honest here, people. Garnacho has started 1 game in the preseason under Erik Ten Hag. Yes, he impressed. But obviously he's not as far up those in his plans as maybe he is in the plans of fans, given what we saw there against Rayo Vallecano. I don't think we'll be seeing Garnacho come into this team to start this game. And I don't really know what we're going to do. I'll be completely honest. It's just a massive... It's... For all the positivity that we've had this preseason, right, in terms of... Honestly, I've said this before and I'll say it one more time. I've really, really enjoyed covering the preseason, how we've covered it here on United People's TV, with all the tactical videos, the sort of focusing on the drills, focusing on the patterns that we're seeing repeated, and the system that we can see getting built. And Martial was the 2 big surprises, I think, for everybody were Diogo Dalot and Antony Martial in the preseason. And we all went into this game now thinking, you know what? I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see whether or not Rashford, Sancho and Martial can continue that good link-up play that we saw on that preseason tour. And now Martial's injured. And now we're talking about Elanga? We're talking about Rashford through the middle? Hell, we're even talking about Fernandes in a false 9 role. It's Erik Ten Hag. Where's that photo? Is it over here? I reckon it's that one. It is. He needs more. He needs signings. And it's not a case of being a spoilt United fan or a spoilt football fan going, oh, I wish our club spent more money, X, Y, Z. We needed a big summer anyway. Yes. And then the Ronaldo situation increased the necessity for it to happen sooner rather than later. As did City signing Haaland. As did Liverpool signing Nunes. As did Arsenal signing Gabriel Jesus. Everybody is strengthened. And Erik Ten Hag doesn't have the tools required. And the thing that I find it annoying because I think Erik Ten Hag has shown so much promise. So in the first couple of months of Erik Ten Hag's tenure, I've seen a change. I've seen differences, and I've seen everybody coming on board. I've seen everyone buying into it. 51 Triad saying, look, why is no one talking about Ahmad? Ten Hag's been using him in the number. Dude, Ahmad looks like he's got the strength of a 9-year-old. I think he's got such good technical ability, but Ahmad would just get thrown off the ball like a feather. He's not physically capable, in my opinion, of the rigors of the Premier League. I just don't think he is. I think Amad Diallo needs a loan spell, an actual genuine loan spell. Hopefully he was going to go to Eredivisie, I think it was Feyenoord last season, but then he got the injury, didn't he? Just before the season started. I don't personally think you can talk about Ahmad starting for Manchester United. You're far more likely to see Garnacho there, but I don't particularly think you're going to be seeing Garnacho there either. I don't want to see Elanga starting there in the number 9. I think Elanga's been pretty poor in the preseason so far. I don't think that suits Elanga. If you're going to play Elanga, I would switch him and I would put him on the left and I would put Rashford through the middle. But again, I'd rather see Rashford on the left. It's Rashford's best position. I think Rashford and Sancho have both had pretty decent preseason tours. Sancho more than Rashford. Of course, Sancho missed the games last week because of illness. Maybe he was just absolutely knackered after the tour, and Erik Ten Hag was like, "Go on, man, you can have a week off." I mean, we more than need him. It's just this. Maybe you can consider it a bit of a blessing in disguise. We didn't need this to understand that we needed a new striker, right? We didn't need it. As fans, we didn't need to go into the season without a recognised fit number 9. And that's mad, isn't it? Erik Ten Hag, that's what I mean, for all the good work he's been doing, for everything that he's been building and the system that we can see starting, we're going into the start of the season without a fit, recognised number 9. And of course, there's going to be question marks around whether or not Cristiano Ronaldo should be starting this game now. We're hearing reports, of course we are, Cristiano Ronaldo is said to have been excellent in training this week. And I don't doubt that whatsoever. I think Cristiano Ronaldo, that's Benjamin Sesko, I think Cristiano Ronaldo is and will be a consummate professional when it comes to training, when it comes to putting in the yards on the training pitch. I think he'll turn up for that. And I think he will definitely do that across the course of the season. But do I think that Ronaldo should be starting this game? No, I don't. I do not think he should be starting this game. And I don't mean that in a stubborn, just keep Ronaldo out of the team for the sake of keeping Ronaldo out of the team. I don't mean that. I mean, he's not fit. He is not fit. So I wouldn't start him. Even though Martial's not in the team, I still wouldn't start Cristiano Ronaldo, not for this game. And again, it's just the side stories. Here we go again. The side stories are there. The circuses, And Erik Ten Hag will be asked about it in his press conference. I'll be interested to hear his comments on that. But let's go down here. And you're saying, look, physically, Ronaldo's always been a machine. It's not about that. It's about joy. As I said, it's far bigger than that. And again, because of the because of the message, unfortunately, because of the message that starting Ronaldo would send, I think that choice is kind of taken away from Ten Hag a little bit. Given what he's been doing, given what he's been working towards, the fact that he said that Ronaldo leaving was unacceptable, the fact that he said that other players leaving was unacceptable, he can't then do that and then bring Ronaldo back into the team straight away. It's not really a show of discipline. It's Neville, you're down here in the comments. You're saying, look, we've got to give youth a chance. Otherwise, how we know? Rashford took his chance. No one heard of him before that Euro match. Ronaldo for 45 to 60, then Garnacho. Five subs now. That's a good point there. So we probably will see Garnacho on the bench. But Garnacho is not a replacement for Ronaldo. No, we don't have a replacement for Ronaldo. Well, we kind of had a replacement for Ronaldo, but now he's injured. And that's why conversations about this lad will only intensify. This is really not a case of pussyfooting around it anymore. We've got to go. There is no reason why we're waiting for this Sesko situation. We've met with his agents now. We've met with his agents twice. I think we've also spoken directly to RB Salzburg. We know full well that Chelsea is sniffing around because Chelsea, as I said yesterday, they're the drunk dude in the kebab shop looking at the menu going, I want everything. I can't make my mind up. I just want it all. And they're probably going to come in for Sesko and try and steal him because they haven't been able to get anybody else that they wanted. So if United do want Sesko, and it's clear that we do want Sesko, right? You'll notice again, when I spoke yesterday about Erik Ten Hag's comments on the signings that he wants to make, the idea that effectively he's saying, I'd rather focus on the signings that I want. I won't just sign a player for the sake of it. Sesko is obviously the striker who United have identified and who United are now going after because there is no one else. But as I say, Sasa Kaladzic is another one that we've been linked with, but it's kind of tentative. Hakim Ziyech is not a striker. We've got to go out now and just get Sesko, man. Let's go. Get Sesko. It has to happen. Sumajit, what are you saying? I just need people to acknowledge how hard Ten Hag's job is. It's harder than Pep when he came first time. Taking United back is a very, very hard job, and it gets harder when you're not backed well. Look, getting Manchester United back to the top of English and European football is probably one of the hardest jobs that there will ever be in football. The expectations, the pressures, the tough working environment. Yeah. And the absolute desire from everybody else for Man United to continue failing. And the tirade of, you're swimming upstream straight away as a United manager. And look, Says Mount's down here saying, look, Sesko's not that good. Everyone's talking like he's Messi, blah, blah. No, it's not a case of everyone hyping up Sesko to be Messi. No one's hyping him up to be Messi levels in any way, shape or form. But we can all see and we can all understand why he's been identified as a striker, as a young talent who would work well with our manager. And you can see some synergy there. And we need a new attacker. And if it wasn't Sesko and it was somebody else, I'm sure we'd be getting behind him as well. We'd be just as excited about him. But it's Sesko who we're going after. So it's Sesko that we've got to get done, right? I think so anyway. I don't see how we can afford to now sit there. I mean, we couldn't anyway, right? But we've got two recognized senior number 9s at our club right now. One of them is injured. And one of them wants to leave. It's not exactly best preparations for Erik Ten Hag for the season, is it? He's been doing... It's kind of like the preseason has been good in spite of everything that's going on around him. He hasn't got Frenkie de Jong in. Lisandro Martinez should be starting this game against Brighton on Sunday. But he won't because he won't be fit enough. Christian Eriksen, he might. He played in both of those games against Rayo Vallecano and Atletico Madrid, got quite a few more minutes than Martinez, and looks a little bit sharper. I imagine if one of our new signings there is going to start, it's going to be Eriksen ahead of Martinez. But in an ideal situation, Martinez would be fit and ready to start that game, but he probably won't. Now, Christopher, I think that's a really good question down there. Let me read this one out. Chris is saying that, Sam, do you think you saying that we need a striker more than we need a defensive midfielder? That's a really hard choice to make, because I personally think that for the overall shape of our team, a defensive midfielder, that number 6 role is more important, right? Is more important. But at the same time, because of everything that is now unfolding, we knew that Martial was going to get injured at some point this season. We didn't think it was going to be the first game. And we've known that Ronaldo wants to leave there. So unfortunately, both of those are now equally as imperative. Now, the defensive midfielder and Frenkie de Jong is something that we've been pushing for a long, long, long time. And I've been banging the drum there. I won't now all of a sudden just say, oh, because Ronaldo's wants to leave and Martial's injured, that all of a sudden a striker is more important. But that's why you have to get both done. And it is a necessity for United. For us to compete this season, like you would have watched my video yesterday, I've predicted that I've gone for United to finish 5th in the Premier League. In current squad, everything at the moment, I think 5th. And I think I'm probably being, I wouldn't say optimistic, but it'll be a tough 5th if we finish 5th. Because our squad is thin. It really is thin. And for the fact that Antony Martial can be ruled out with a hamstring injury, and all of a sudden we're talking about the fact that we're going into the season without a recognised number 9 who's fit. It's tough, man. That's what I mean. I see no reason now why United, over the next few days, we've got to, I suppose it's up to Benjamin Sesko, isn't it? At this point, we've registered our interest early. We were proactive enough to, and that fills me with a bit of optimism. Chelsea are not in a pole position here to sign Benjamin Sesko. They might be able to throw money at him, and they will throw money at people like they throw money at Cucurella, which I will speak about next. United went in there first with Sesko, and that will probably, hopefully, I think so, be quite important. Go down here and see what else you're saying. Brian saying isn't Rashford a striker? I would disagree, Brian. I don't think Rashford's a striker at all. Rashford is a left winger. We know that's his best position. Now, he's played as a number 9 before. Yes, he has. But no. He is a left winger. Let me go down. Oh, my voice just went there. Give Garnacho a place in the first team. Obviously, lots and lots of people are going to keep saying that. I don't think it will happen in the first. I think Garnacho might come off the bench. Sure. Garnacho won't be starting this game in the Erik Ten Hag has been working hard all pre-season, and in the majority of the games, it's Rashford on the left, it's Martial through the middle, and it's Sancho on the right. Okay? That's what he's been building and working towards. Garnacho may have had a cracking performance against Rayo Vallecano at Old Trafford. It was the first time we saw him in the pre-season. Base it in reality, people. Base it on what we've seen, and you can fairly assume that Garnacho will not be starting this game. Even if I think he might come off the bench. Look, with Facundo Pellistri, we can have a conversation about him on the right-hand side, but Sancho should be starting there. And I think Rashford should be starting on the left. I don't think it's a case of moving either of those two out of positions, which they've been doing well in pre-season. It's trying to figure out the best backup, the best alternative to not having Martial and not having Cristiano Ronaldo fit to play. That's what I think we're going to do. And as I say, I'm going to run through my predicted 11 that's going to go out in about an hour's time, okay, on the channel. Hour and a half. That's going to go out, and then a couple of hours later, I'm going to cover all of Erik Ten Hag's first press conference of the season. So make sure you subscribe to United People's TV. If you knew, why would you want to miss that? Sporty, how you doing, buddy? We need a striker now because Ronaldo will be gone either now or at the end of the season. If we are to act at the end of the season, that is not being prepared. I always thought that Ronaldo was leaving at the end of next year. Ronaldo putting in his transfer request has only accelerated that conversation by 1 year, I think. As I said, for someone who's been, in myself, who's pretty damn optimistic about what I've seen in the preseason, the patterns, and this, it feels like something's happening. It feels like a change of direction and a shift in approach from the team as a collective in the preseason. So for all of that to now be sort of like that, the handbrakes come on because Martial's been injured. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. And Erik Ten Hag will no doubt be frustrated. Absolutely, he will be. All the work that we've been putting in, He's now going to have to do something makeshift because this man's not fit. And maybe it would have been makeshift even if Ronaldo was fit, because he wouldn't be a similar sort of player to Antony Martial, would he? Caleb there with a fair enough question, saying Donny's a false nine. Yep, you could potentially put Donny as a false nine. Again, I think you're far more likely to see Bruno Fernandes as a false nine than Donny van der Beek as a false nine. That's what I think so anyway. Big Tony Rockets, you're feeling a bit of a chipper mood there this morning, my friend. Let me pull this one up. Martial's garbage, apparently, people. Who knew? Who knew that Martial was garbage? I wouldn't say that Martial's garbage. I think we've seen in the preseason when he's not garbage, when he's firing, he's a beautiful player to watch. But it's these injuries that we know they were there before, they're going to be there after. That's why all of us, at the back of our mind, you can't ignore that niggle in the back of your head with Martial. You just can't do it. Frustrating, man. Really, really frustrating. And you know what's even more frustrating? I've got to bloody agree with Jamie Carragher when he's popping this out. Got Savage saying, look, why not start Ronaldo for the first 45? A fine should be punishment enough for leaving the game last week. Erik Ten Hag is trying to do something different at Manchester United. He's trying to change the power balance, if you want to call it that. And Jamie Carragher's right here in the idea that the petulance of Ronaldo can't be indulged. But it's not a case of whether Man United will show him the door. We've opened the door, but no one's on the other side of it. No one's taking him out. And that's why Ronaldo's probably going to be staying this season. But you saw it in my video yesterday. If you didn't, I'll speak about it now. I've backed Cristiano Ronaldo to be Man United's top scorer this season. Because I think once the season starts, maybe you've got to wait until the transfer window's over, so he's definitely staying. I think Ronaldo will just get back among the goals again. And I would probably back him to be our top scorer. But at this moment in time, he's not fit. He's not capable. Martial's not fit. He's not capable. And I would just say that Elanga's just not capable of playing through the middle. It's Christopher, what you're saying there. We need to wake up. No more new signings. Ronaldo's going to be a new Pogba. No, we will make more signings. We will make more signings. I can say that with real confidence. There's no way that we go the next 26 days without making another signing. Whether that's going to be Benjamin Sesko, whether that's going to be Hakim Ziyech, I can see both of those happening, and I can see both of those improving Manchester United's attacking options. I've had some weird accusations in the last 24, 48 hours being thrown at me about the idea that I'm saying Hakim Ziyech would be a good signing. Because we can't get Antony this summer, because he's way overpriced, and I think United rightly are not paying that. I think there's no way that Antony's going to be worth that much next summer. He's probably going to be worth like 40 to 50 million, and we'll go and sign him. Hakim Ziyech in a good short-term it won't just be like for one season, but Ziyech to cover the gap until Antony comes in, that's a good signing, I think, because Ziyech would know the Ten Hag system inside out. The bedding in period of a new signing wouldn't be that crazy. So the idea of signing him just before the season starts or signing him just after the season starts, it wouldn't be as dramatic. And I think it'll be a good. I think if we get both of those in, I think our attacking depth and options would be looking far, far better. And I think both of those, it's not unrealistic to anticipate that United could sign both of those. I think so anyway. Mo, who's calling you Mo down there because it's your first name? But Salim, how you doing, buddy? Garnacho is better than Ziyech. Garnacho's had a cracking FA Youth Cup run last year. He's had some exciting appearances. Ziyech's sort of kind of gone off the boil, isn't he? A little bit at Chelsea, and that's being a little bit polite. But Erik Ten Hag, man, he needs more. It's just for the first time, as I say, for the first time in a long time, I can say with real confidence as a United fan that we are not going to be a joke this season. We are not going to be a team. We might still get pumped here or there, but we're not going to be a joke anymore. We won't be the whipping boys of the Premier League. And I want that. Because of that, I want Erik Ten Hag to get the tools that he needs to build this system. because it's obvious. It's clearly obvious how good Ten Hag is as a coach. We've seen it all now. Straight away. That's a lie. We haven't seen it all because the Premier League hasn't even started. We've seen it all in the preseason, and we've seen the elements of it that he's trying to build. But he has to be given the better tools. And I've still maintained that the fact that I think we'll be happy come the end of the transfer window. But it's just, it's stuff like this which accelerates the conversation and forces issues maybe. And United have got to act. Sam, cracking name. Let me know where you're watching from, my friend. There's a comment down there about negativity. What's this saying there? Everyone's brainwashed with negativity. Ten Hag and his system improved last seasons without signings. Madison, Martinez, and Eriksen improves things further. Yeah, big T. That's what I'm saying. I think I've reiterated on multiple occasions how many positives there are going into this season. But now we don't have a recognised striker. Now the system that we have been building has to be tweaked and shifted and bent a little bit until we get Martial back fit, or we get a new signing in and see where he slots in. It's just not the best preparations for the start of the season, is it? Given what we've seen, and as I say, the feelings we had, is a bit of a handbrake on all of that. Ferdinand, I won't disagree with that comment either. Ten Hag's our best signing. He is the best signing we made in a long, long time. And look, speaking about signings here, segue, I want to run through the comments from Gary Neville in the overlap that he said about Manchester United's summer transfer activity so far. Jonathan, I disagree with you. You're saying that the positives have been eroded. No, they've not been eroded at all. But they're certainly been distracted away from those positives. And unfortunately, the balance is sort of shifting back with the negatives coming up and the positives going down. One fist disappearing, or one fist. Very nice. But there's still time to rectify it. I just kind of wish it was rectified now before this sort of exploded in our face. And this is what Gary Neville has said about Man United's transfer activity. I want you to let me know what you think about this in the comments below, as you always do. He said, I think Ten Hag has had a really impressive start, a confident start, in spite of the fact his star player is playing up and he's not being supported off the pitch by an operation that can get him the players he wants. If you said to me 2 months ago that Man United would still have Fred and McTominay in midfield, and I like both of them, I think individually they give it their all for Manchester United, and that we have Martial up front, who, to be fair, is having a good pre-season, who, to be fair, every Manchester United fan and coach have written off and thought he'd be leaving. He's now a centre forward. Just a really weirdly written sentence there. My word, whoever wrote that, you need to learn how to write sentences better. But he's saying this, look, I'd say that the manager has been given a tough hand. And I think he's completely right there. I think Ten Hag's success so far has been effectively in spite of what's been going on around him, rather than because of it. I think the signings that we have made are good. Malacia, a very exciting signing, which we went in quick. Remember, Leon had agreed a fee. Boom, over the top. Take you, gone, done. Sweet. That was nice. I like that. I wanted more of that. Eriksen, got him on a free. Took a little bit longer because he wanted to decide on what he wanted to do. He came to the club. Beautiful. Martinez took a little bit longer. We ended up overpaying for it, but we got the player that we wanted a little bit later than we wanted. Otherwise, Martinez would be fit here. De Jong, I think we're in the 13th, 14th week of the De Jong saga, and we've still not signed him. And now that Ronaldo is still kicking off, Martial's now injured, and Ten Hag's going into the start of the season without a striker, we're still learning as a club, man. We're still stuck in, well, there's still shit going on. Steve, you're down there saying, look, try Charlie McNeil from the bench. Again, guys, I actually don't think that Charlie McNeil's played one under-23s game. He played for the under-19s in the FA Youth Cup run. Yeah, sure. But so did Garnacho. And Garnacho went on the pre-season tour and McNeil didn't. Why is that? Is that because the managers looked at him and everybody said, look, McNeil, not quite ready yet. Not quite there yet. Maybe that's why they're saying that, because he's certainly a lethal goal scorer at that level, for sure, but there must be a reason why he's not there. Liban, he's saying, United is a mess. They sent out a statement after the news broke saying they were okay with Ronaldo and co leaving early, but Ten Hag saying it's unacceptable is quite the opposite. That's our club. Dude, let me quickly explain something to you here. Erik Ten Hag is our manager. not the media. There's no confusion here. There's no mixed messages here. Just don't believe what's written in the media. Erik Ten Hag came out, and as I said, anybody who had a bit of a power of deduction in their mind would have seen that Erik Ten Hag situation with Cristiano Ronaldo and go, that doesn't make any sense. The idea that Ten Hag would let them leave early after instilling so much discipline in pre-season, it didn't make any sense. That it didn't line up. It didn't match up. And lo and behold, it didn't. And I was correct to think that. There's no Man United and Ten Hag going against it. What is this shit? Where does this even come from? It's not that at all. The press have been clutching this summer, really. They have no idea what's going on with the De Jong situation. My word. They have no idea what's going on with the De Jong situation. They just keep guessing. There's no way that this is the club versus Erik Ten Hag. People, let's not try and spread that. My word. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. And if that's the sort of energy that you want to feed on, then you're in the wrong place, man, because you're not going to get that on United People's TV. I won't spread that shit. If it's there for a reason, then I will speak about it. But I won't spread it for the sake of spreading it. Hell no. Not to start the season. I just wouldn't do it. Right, there's a couple more super chats in here. Let me read these out. Jibak, I don't get it. Every transfer we've attempted this summer, has been because Ten Hag's asked for it. How are we learning? We're simply backing Ten Hag 100%. John Murtaugh's taking it upon himself. And I always knew it was a risk. We always knew it was a risk. He's taken it upon himself to become our version of Paul Mitchell. And it's been a struggle. I'll be honest. I think any transfer negotiator would be stuck in a mess with De Jong. I don't think this De Jong situation really lies at the feet of Manchester United. I've explained that in a lot of detail. We've just got caught in the spider's web with this De Jong situation this summer. These transfers have they kind of leave you a little bit speechless, I suppose. Sometimes they leave you a little bit speechless. I think I'm still a bit knocked back by the idea that some United fans are having a conversation saying, oh, but the club's saying one thing. No, it's just like the fucking press has got some quote from somewhere. Might be the cleaner. That might be their source. It doesn't matter what the media says. As soon as it comes from Erik Ten Hag's mouth, you should just outright dismiss anything that's been said elsewhere. Because Erik Ten Hag is not a man who bullshits, is he? We know that. He's not a man who lies in front of camera. It's not part of his persona. It would completely undermine his whole personality if he did that. Strange. Anuj, how you doing, buddy? Sam, you said Ziyech will be a good option till Antony comes in. Are you confident that we will sign an next summer and talk about TeamViewer? I've got TeamViewer coming up here. I think we will. If we want Antony next summer, we'll go and get Antony next summer. But remember that Christopher Nkunku is going to be available with his release clause. I think 65 million euros next summer. So maybe we're going to go after him. But next summer, Antony, there's no way he's going to cost 80 million. No way. Jason, young talent in the squad will need to be filtered through sparingly need to keep confidence and experience on a high. Physically, they're not ready. Dude, it's such an important aspect of bringing through kids. You can bring through kids in right and wrong environments. I've explained this a lot, and you've explained it a lot. And Man United is a pressure boiler situation. It's like if Benjamin Sesko comes in, right? He's 19. He's going to have to come in and hit the ground running. There's not really going to be much room for error, much room for growth at the club. There's going to be an expectation that if he comes in, he's going to start banging in the goals straight away at the age of 19. If we were to bring Charlie McNeil up through into this environment, that expectation would immediately be placed on his shoulders. And to go from under 18s football to the Premier League is like getting off a go-kart and jumping into a Ferrari without doing a driving test. You might be good at it. You might be naturally good at it and you just shine, but the odds are you really will struggle for a while. But you won't be given that opportunity to grow into it at Manchester United because of the demands on the club. So that's what I mean. I love seeing kids come through, but I don't want to see Louis van Gaal style of kids coming through. Tyler Blackett, Paddy McNair, Donald Love, Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, just youngsters being thrown in just for the sake of it. Debut there, debut there, debut there. It's not the way to make sustainable youth development. Erik Ten Hag, I trust him to do it properly. And I think he will do it properly. And I think Garnacho will get some serious game time this season. I think he'll really impress. I think he'll have a proper breakthrough season. Charlie McNeil, why didn't he go on the preseason tour? And if he didn't go on the preseason tour, why are we having a conversation about it now? Khalil, performances and motivation will improve this season. This alone will win us games. Signing a striker and midfielder, we already have a right winger in Sancho. I think the performances were, I think it was said in a comment before, even without any new signings, we'll be a better team than we were last year. I think we all know that. We can see that. We understand that straight away, that Ten Hag's going to coach that. But we definitely still need more. I think we all know that too. And that's a fair thing. It was a good comment though. Pavan, you're saying, we keep saying we had a good preseason, did we? Erik Ten Hag and the team did. The board, on the other hand, have given Ten Hag such a hard job. One injury is throwing anything off the rails. Yeah, look, I'm saying we had a good preseason because I'm talking about the football team. I'm not talking about the club. I'm not talking about the things behind the scenes. Manchester United as a whole, no, we haven't had the best of summers. Still time to rectify that. But it's a shame that we've left to the situation where August is going to be mad. Jeez. June and July were already full on and full tilt. But August is crazy. Dan, we didn't miss Scamacca. We didn't go for Scamacca. As simple as that. League Cup will be used. I mean, I spoke about the League Cup and the FA Cup in my season preview yesterday. I've backed us to get to the quarterfinals of both competitions. I think they probably will be a case of that. It will be a case of using the youth players inside these cup competitions. And bear in mind as well that the World Cup's happening in November to December, which means that the League Cup now is going to be, the third round is in November, and then the fourth round is Boxing. Is it Boxing Day? It's just after the World Cup ends. So January is going to be full on FA Cup and League Cup and Premier League. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I'm going to try and read a few of your comments out down here. Why not? That's what I always try to do. Integrate Garnacho as part of the game plan. He will be. Tony, we saw those. That'll be a bit, I don't know. The Tony ones, the Tony rumors, I kind of thought that was just a name for namesake. Jonathan, I couldn't disagree anymore on the Vardy. Nah, man, Vardy, I think this is the year where Vardy disappears. Heard it here first. That's a hot take for the season. I think it's the season that someone's going to clip that up after Vardy bangs in hat tricks in his first 3 games. What are we all saying down here? I think everyone's just, I mean, as I say, Steve, look, you can say that if you want, but we didn't go after him in any way, shape, or form. Speaking about signings, right? And I've spoken about Chelsea are acting like amateurs in this window. Absolute amateurs, but amateurs with an absolute ton of money. And James Ducker sort of summed this up right here. Fabrizio Romano confirming down here that Chelsea will pay £62 million for Marc Cucurella. £62 million for a left back from Brighton is absolutely mad. Full blown. That is one of the worst transfer fees I've ever seen. It genuinely is. I understand that players are getting more expensive. That Nunez was 75, but 62 million quid for Marc Cucurella is staggering. And as James Ducker puts it here, he said, look, if Todd Bowley is prepared to pay £62 million for Cucurella, what the actual fact, then probably it doesn't bode well for Manchester United with De Jong. Not saying that De Jong would choose United anyway, but it wouldn't surprise me if Chelsea just ended up paying or offering a fee that helps Barcelona settle that wage issue. But it's just Chelsea clearly at this point in the window, they don't really care what they spend as long as they get the players in. Lots of you trying to have a go at me down here for Harry Maguire. Look, when we signed Harry Maguire, he was a far more established player than Marc Cucurella is, right? Let's be completely honest. Of course, the situations are comparable. And United, we know, got their pants pulled down with the price of Maguire. But when we signed Maguire, he had a lot more stature than Marc Cucurella did. 62 million. It's absolutely mad. Mad. That's honestly one of the most staggering transfer fees I've ever seen. And because Chelsea missed out on Rafinha, they missed out on Koundé, and they missed out on, I don't know who else they bloody missed out on. A ton of players. De Ligt, I think, as well. They are now just going to overpay massively. So that's why I'm not too worried about Chelsea. We spoke about this yesterday, didn't I? I'm not too worried about Chelsea sniffing around the players that we want, but it just it should force United's hand a little bit more. And I think with this Benjamin Sesko situation, I think it's just it's probably, at the moment, it's down to him. He goes, right, okay, United want me, Chelsea want me, and I'm sure there's another club that want him too. Yeah, look down there in the comments, Yash pointing that one out. Where is it? 85. Chelsea are assholes, all right? Chelsea came in and screwed the Premier League for everybody else when Roman Abramovich came in and used the club to wash his money. Didn't care about how much he spent. Didn't care about profits. Just wanted to spend. That changed the Premier League forever. And then, of course, City, they were bought by the Sheikh. Oil money came in, and it was Chelsea who originally screwed everything up for everybody. And now they're just... Well, that's a nice little comment. Alex, Sam is just useless. All these videos. Thanks very much, buddy. You know exactly what you can do. There's a little cross in the corner. Just go up there and press that, my friend. Save yourself the bother. Absolutely mad. Tell you some good news that happened yesterday. Alex Telles, he got his move away. And look, I've made it abundantly clear how much I think Alex Telles should be leaving the club. But fair play to him, man. I haven't really heard anything. He's acted like a professional, right? He's not really come out and chatted shit. He hasn't really said much at all. When he said this message yesterday, he said, look, to everyone at United, colleagues, staffs and fans, I'll be supporting and cheering you on. Thanks for the moment so far. Look, man, good luck to you, Alex, man. I really hope you nail it at Sevilla and we get a good fee for you. But fair play. It's nice. I mean, that's what professionals should do. I don't know why I've described that as nice. But you just, I don't know. I'm just so used to seeing circuses that that's just, yeah. I like that. Fair play to him. Let me go down here and read a few more of your comments. Liban, okay, you want to back up? You see what else you're saying, sir. Sam, I believe in Erik Ten Hag, but my point was United sending a statement. Didn't mean you to spread. Look, I'm not saying anything out of fair enough, right? You sent another comment there. But this is not, as I said, this is not a time for anybody to try and talk about mixed messages, right? We're all behind Erik Ten Hag and what he's doing, and the club is too, right? There is no factions being created anywhere at all. And that's just something I want to really reiterate. There's a couple of comments here. And Gungshi, thank you, as always, dude, man. Thank you for continuing to support the channel. But as Gungshi's instructed me, it is map day. And you know what happens on map day, ladies and gents, right? 3 of you are going to go on the map. It is map day indeed. Dan, didn't forget that, my friend. So let's let me know where you're watching from. Of course, you've got to let me know the town and the country, and I'll get a few of you added onto the map before we answer a few more questions, and then we wrap it up for today. And then after that, I'm going to do my predicted 11 for the Brighton game. And then after that, I'm going to cover also Erik Ten Hag's press conference. So make sure you drop a like on the video, people. It's busy, and it is map day. Let's see who's down here in the comments then. Let's get a few of you on the map. Oh, look at that. Niels watching from Gorinchem in Netherlands. That's a cool little sounding place. Where's that? That spelled right? No, that's Gorchi. Gorin. There we go. In South Holland. On the map you go. Don't know why I sang that. I did. Right, who else we got down here? Jerry watching from is it Kochi or Kochi? I'm going to Kochi. In India. On you go. Welcome aboard, sir. Or madam. Not sure. And let's go for one more. Charlie, you're watching from Edinburgh. I'm in Glasgow next weekend. Look at that. Edinburgh. Going up there for a wedding. On you go. 3 on the map. Look at that. Look at the last points we've had on the map now. You can see it on the right-hand side there. You can read that. We've got Edinburgh. We've got Kochi in India. Got Inchem in South Holland. We've got Minnesota. Langsberg in Cape Town. Or Western Cape, sorry. Aalborg in Denmark. North Macedonia. District of Columbia. Oh, all around the world. Always puts a big smile on my face. It really, really does. There's a couple of super chats there. I don't want to miss them. Let me go back up and read. Honestly, at this point, I'd love for you to see how many messages get sent in. It's amazing. Dave, you've got to go on the map then, sir. You've sent in a super chat. Can't ignore that. Great Yarmouth. I used to go to Great Yarmouth all the time as a kid. I remember last time I went there. A good beach. If you're ever in Norfolk, get to Great Yarmouth. Thank you very much for that, my friend. But look, I love doing the map. I really, really do. There's another super chat up there, I think, that I missed. Let me read this one out quickly. My God, hundreds of messages. It's awesome. Chris, you're saying, I believe we won't make any more signings. Okay. Erik Ten Hag sees some promising prospects in the youth and will have plans to bring them through as part of the rebuild. Chris, I'll disagree with you there, my friend. I think it's both. I think you're right in the idea that he does see promising prospects coming through, but also he is under absolutely no illusion that we need more. It's a bit of both, and he needs both. 51 tried. You're so spot on here, man. You're saying that. You're saying the map day truly emphasizes the fact that we are the biggest club in the world, baby. Honestly, it staggers me. I want to get this printed onto a poster at some point. What are we on now? We're on 317 points, and look at that, man. Look how all the Reds around the world are watching United People's TV. Honestly, I can't say how proud that makes me. Yeah, it really is great. So thank you very much, everybody. Martin, is a good point there. I was going to bring that up next. Actually, where did I forgot to bring that up. TeamViewer have cancelled their... well, I haven't actually cancelled it just yet. TeamViewer, of course, took over as Man United's main shirt sponsor. Let me find this. There you go. Which is a bit strange that this has been announced now. I'll be honest. Let me get this up here. But of course, as I say, TeamViewer are our current shirt sponsors. And they've said that they will not renew their contract when it expires in 4 years. With the 47 million a year deal being blamed as one of the main reasons their share price has plummeted. And they released a statement on it. Now, of course, you'll know full well that the 1958 are planning the next protest. That's happening ahead of the game against Brighton, 11 a.m. from Media City. Make sure you go over on Twitter, search for 1958. You can get the map for the route. I think it's across the Millennium Bridge, then across the Quays, up down Sir Alex Ferguson Way, past Hotel Football, onto the forecourt, and then into the Munich Tunnel. I think that is the route, but make sure you check it out. And if you're going to the game, try and get down there early. It kicks off at 11 a.m. The game, of course, is at 2 p.m. And look, you can say, Sam, this TeamViewer thing's got nothing to do with the Glazer protests. This is just a consequence of a market downfall. Blah, blah. You could say that, right? And I think it's a little bit of both. But the energy, this should give more energy to the continued protests that are going on. Even if it's not completely to do with it, take it as it is and use it as fuel to get it further down the line. And just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep fighting against the Glazers until those dirty snakes are out of the club. Vicky with a comment there. That's a nice comment there. Look, so everyone have a lovely weekend. I'm off to Manchester. As much as striker issues, I'm going to be excited. Vicky, make sure you enjoy that game. And look, make sure everybody you do enjoy the game. I'll be here later today. There's so much content still going out before the game on Sunday. I've got my predicted 11 going out within about an hour and a half. I'll start working on it straight away when this video ends. Then I'm going to be back. I'm going to cover the press conference at 1:30. I won't do it live. I'm just going to get all the quotes and I'll run through them all after the fact. Tomorrow, I'm going to release a separate video. I'm not sure on what yet. But then the game is happening on Sunday. I'll be here. I'll try and cover the protests as much as I can. I'm going to try and get a video done on that as well. But I think I need to bring a video editor on. If there's any video editors watching and you want to get involved in United People's TV, slide into my DMs because there's definitely some paid work I'm going to start bringing to the right editors who can do the same sort of style of videos that I've been doing for a long time. I'm just a bit too busy at the moment to be able to do them myself, but I want to keep doing them. So if there is anybody watching who's a video editor, slide into my DMs and we can have a conversation. And then Sunday, of course, I'll be here after the game with my match reaction. I've really enjoyed, as I say, I've really enjoyed the preseason, covering it with all of you here and the way that we're building this community. Daisy, the press conference is at 1:30 UK time. So I should be here with a video around about 2 o'clock. And now the season's starting, right? All a build up to what's coming here. Somebody asking for the fantasy football code. 1 second there. Let me quickly get it for you from Twitter. Because I put it up on there. I think that's it here. I think if you follow this link, that one there, and that one there. I think that link works. If that link doesn't work, well, sod it. Make sure you check it out on Telegram. I'll put it on Telegram. But big up to everybody. I'm a little bit ranty at the end. Not ranty, just bumbling on. But thank you very much. Let's join in, and fingers crossed that we can figure out the right system without a fit and recognised striker. But United, man, back Erik. Get him what he needs. Because we need more to be able to compete in the Premier League this year. Absolutely, we need new signings. Take it easy, everyone.